Hi, everyone. Welcome to this Google Digital Garage training session on how to engage customers with newsletters. My name is Benedict. I'm a trainer for Google's free skills training program, Google Digital Garage. Just a bit about myself. I'm an experienced coding specialist and digital skills trainer, as well as having a background in the digital creative industry and worked in the sector for over 20 years. I would also like to introduce our amazing moderator, Mohammed. Mohammed is also part of Google Digital Garage trainers, and he'll be there answering all of your questions and passing some across to me onto our mod doc. So please do fire away with all your questions. There's only 15 minutes long with this one, so make sure you fire your questions as soon as possible. Okay, wonderful. Another thing, if you could actually communicate with us where you're signing on from. It's always lovely to introduce, to welcome you in your different parts of the world. So do please share that with us. Thank you. Okay, so having a look, today we're going to help you particularly with understanding the benefits of sending a newsletter. What value do they have, for a business? And then we'll look at some tips for crafting really an effective newsletter. So it really is really good quality. Okay, let us start off with the first step here. So the benefits of sending a newsletter. All right. Now, email marketing has the potential, as it says here, to see a 3,600% return on investment. I mean, that's quite a large number. Now, a 2021 study showed that on average, the return on investment for email marketing was 3,600 times that. So that means for every £1 spent, a business could get back £36 in revenue or sales. So it's a useful piece of stats there to get you a clear idea how valuable it is. So let's have a look actually what the benefits actually are. So a newsletter can be, a simple, cost-effective way to stay in touch with customers. The great thing about newsletters, of course, is that you are mostly talking, to existing customers or people who have opted in, which means they are already, they are already somewhat interested in your offering. So how can you actually utilize them to actually boost sales, bookings or leads? Firstly, you could be attracting customers with your unique insights. Consider including a short article or blog in your newsletter that actually demonstrates your insight into your industry or related topic. And the point is, you're helping people out a lot, maybe with making decision or whatever it might be. It's making things clearer for them. To a certain extent, you're almost training them there or teaching them on the different sides. So, for example, you can actually provide a tutorial to show people how to use your products. It's a great way to help people overcome any barriers to buying your product or service. Now, newsletters are usually, sorry, let me just introduce quickly Johannes Casabon, signing in from St. Lucia. Excellent. Welcome. Great to have you here. So going back onto this, second point here, newsletters are usually mobile friendly. So you can actually reach people where they're browsing or on the go. And thirdly, you could improve search engine optimization, and social content. Now, newsletters it's a great way to actually drive people to your website or social media pages by including links, promotions or prompts. Now, increased traffic to your website will, of course, help your search engine optimization efforts, as well as guide your customers towards buying or booking or getting more information, depending on what you're actually providing there. Let's have a look at the second point here. Now we've got 11 minutes to cover this. Our time is limited, but let's have a look. So we're going to be working on crafting an effective newsletter. I'm going to go through some of the different tips. So, of course, the goal of a newsletter is to keep your customers updated with any, new promotions, business updates, or just create a touch point to stay with them and everything for when you're actually making a purchase or a booking, or whether your website, your business provides training. It could be going over some of the different points that you covered before, but how do you actually achieve this? So try to whittle your goal down to the core. the base of what you're actually providing and most actionable piece. For example, so you could say you're putting it into the verb format, not the noun format. So if you want to advertise a promotion, it's ultimately to prompt your readers to buy something from you. So the action you want from them is to actually to click through to your website and make the purchase. So your goal will be website clicks. Okay. So what are some other goals you can think of? And there, of course, don't forget that's website clicks. At the moment, we're looking from the side that they're getting to your website. I mean, obviously, yes, as well, clicking and buying, but the fact that they're going to your website is a good starting point. So start, first of all, some of the different tips here. We're going to, you've probably received a lot of newsletters that are immediately, sent to the bin. So think about why you might do that and what reasons why you might not actually put them in the bin. What things are actually catching your attention? So start with a catchy title or subject line. Is it too clicky baity, too boring? Make it simple. So when crafting a newsletter, it's crucial that you hit the sweet spot, with your subject lines or titles, something to grab your reader's attention, but not making it deceiving. So start with your reader in mind, always thinking from the viewpoint of your reader. What are their interests? What value can you provide for them? Then also use action words and active voice rather than passive voice, okay? And then highlight the key content. Are you running a promotion or have a big business update to share? Perhaps you've written an insightful new blog. You want to share these particular sides, and because there's a lot of things you could, find out from this particular thing. So tell your readers what they can actually expect to find in the newsletter, so they are incentivized to actually open it particularly. Okay, so there's some of the different points. Now, the other thing is include images and graphics. Now, in today's busy online world, attention spans, I'm afraid, are around, we've said this before, 8 seconds. I do sometimes wonder, sometimes it seems much shorter, in fact. So that means in the time it's taken, you to actually say these sentences, or for me to say these sentences, or a reader to complete the first paragraph of your newsletter, they have become distracted. Now, in order to grab and keep your reader's attention, you want to actually make the layout of your newsletter as captivating as possible. Now, using images and graphics is one way to hold attention and make your content easily digestible. Using infographics to represent data or concepts is a great way to actually deliver information in a snapshot. Also, trying to use high-quality photos is also crucial to a well-read newsletter. If you're feeling creative, you can also use GIFs or animated elements in your newsletters, and then highlight your important information, like your call to action. I mean, one thing with the GIFs can be helpful, but don't make it too irritating when it keeps them going around in circles. Eventually, the person doesn't want to see it anymore because it's so distracting. And then highlight your important information, like your call to action, clearly with colors or graphics, so they really stand out as someone skimming through it, okay? It's also clear from the examples on this particular screen that we have here. In fact, I'll just take myself off quickly, just so you can see it a little bit clearer, which newsletter would have a better completion and click-through rate, okay? If you have a look at those two, the first and the second, maybe you could communicate with us. That would be fabulous, Johannes, maybe. So which one do you think would catch people's attention, the first or the second? Let me put it that way. I'm watching the time, of course, but I think we're doing all right. Yeah. Which one do you think would grab your attention? I know there's always a delay. So whilst I'm speaking, of course, once I finish what I've said, it takes a bit of time until it comes through to you on YouTube. So yeah, I think I would agree with you, definitely, Johannes. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yes, absolutely. So the snap hair, make a booking online. It's very graphic. It's very, much more, it's nice and clear. That's fabulous. Thank you, Johannes. I agree with you there. So use a call to action. Now, of course, as we've mentioned, it's crucial that you guide your readers, to actually do something after they've read your newsletter. these could be, there could be many different things, but some popular options are, so for example, follow your social media accounts, redeem a discount or voucher, or read your blog or visit a page on your website. And don't forget to actually measure your click-through rates and newsletter performance. You can actually do this all from Google Analytics, which of course is another talk I'm giving later today, which is covering Google Analytics. And I always talk about Google Analytics version 3 and Google Analytics version 4. So do try and book for that session. It's coming up, let me see now, in about 4 hours time. I can't remember the exact time, but look out for that, because we go through the whole process, and that's actually a full hour long. Okay. Tools. These are some of the different tools, that you can actually get started. And it's, for your newsletter to really put in some really good content there and everything. There are plenty of tools that you can use. Now, Canva, you've probably heard about it already. There's plenty of templates to choose from. You've probably seen this, as well as an extensive library of graphics and images. You can easily create a reader-friendly newsletter. And one of the things with Canva, it's free up to a certain point. So you could be using the free version, or of course, obviously the paid version. Substack is actually an online platform that provides publishing, payment, analytics, and design infrastructure to support subscription newsletters. So it's particularly for that purpose. So do have a look at Substack at least. And then there's tools like MailChimp, well known, help you both design and send your newsletter to your subscriber list. So it's great. So a lot of these ones which send, mass sending to the different clients and everything, there's also, they also have built within them ways of actually building up your newsletter, which is really useful. And of course, Substack covers many different sides. You've got the publishing, payment, analytics, design infrastructure, with all the subscription newsletters. So there's all of these different sides ready to help you. And of course, Canva's very well known. So do have a look at these different ones. They're very useful, and they will. The whole idea is to make your life simpler for you. This is the whole point of it as well. Okay, so try out those. Then over to you. So, all right. So what particular call to action are you going to include in your next newsletter? That's the main question. What call to action? So think about that. And remember, define your goal, break it down into bite-sized pieces, and then design your content and call to action to achieve it. So make it as clear and simple, so people, when they're scanning through it quickly, they can see what it is. Make sure you're not building up a newsletter which is incredibly confusing and people just go, I don't know what that is, and just come away. So make sure that you do all of these different things. Okay, we've got 2 minutes left, so I'm going to be coming to excellent. Mohammed loves Canva. Yeah, absolutely. I use Canva quite a lot as well. So a lot of these things are just really useful. Anyway, moving on to this, I just want to wrap up at this point. I hope that has been a useful dive, particularly, into actually setting up the newsletters and everything and organizing it. So what actions are you going to take to actually get your business, visible from now on with your emails and everything, so that people will stay in contact? So take some time to reflect and really plan your strategy. Which weeks you're going to be sending out, how often it's going to be sent out, what kind of format, keep consistent with your business. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the session, if you are interested in more training from Google Digital Garage, there are a few ways, because I know this one is quite short, only 15 minutes. There are a few ways you can continue learning. If you would like to carry on learning online in your own time, check out the Google Digital Garage website for more online training courses, which are available to you 24/7. And then also there's one for the webinars. You'll see the link to our website just down below. And it's a great opportunity to see what is scheduled and everything, book for the different sessions. The 1 hour long ones, which are still great, and then there's the 45 minutes and 50 minutes, which are a little bit more up to date. But all of them are helpful because they give you lots of different ideas and give, hopefully, inspiration to put all these into action. So if there's any more questions, do fire away, And I want to thank everyone today. I want to thank Mohammed. You've been fabulous. And thank you, the one person who we saw here, was it Johannes? And Excellent. Mukat, Johans, as well. Thank you so much for all of you taking part and everything. Do use the feedback. There is a feedback. If you want to go even further, there's team@thedigitalgarage.co.uk, or you can just provide it now. The feedback, if you're happy with it, any things, that would be fabulous. Okay, so I want to thank you everyone for joining today, and we look forward to welcome you again to another Google Digital Garage training session soon. Thank you.